All right, I gotta show you this video that perfectly illustrates just how much Elon Musk dropped the ball. Now, the Trump White House has been rapidly trying to distance themselves from Elon Musk by pushing him out, and it's because there is a long theme throughout Elon Musk's career where he overpromises and then way underdelivers, therefore disappointing all of the people who committed themselves to his project. It's happened with SpaceX. There are many reports of it happening with Tesla. We've seen it happen, and in this case, it happened on a almost national scale. He conned basically the entire MAGA Republican voter base into thinking that he would somehow find $2 trillion in waste, fraud, and abuse, and successfully cut that from the government with zero adverse effects. But instead, we got basically the inverse. We got all of the adverse effects with none of the positives. There was no positive part of the trade-off. People were fired. Nuclear stockpile workers were laid off. They genuinely set our medical research back decades. And what did we get? We didn't save $2 trillion like they promised before they consolidated power. We didn't even save the $1 trillion that they toned it down to a few months after. Then Elon Musk says, oh, we might have saved $150 billion, but new studies are coming out showing even that number is BS. So let me reiterate. We got all of the adverse effects with no positives. Literally zero positives. In fact, Trump has already spent over $250 billion more at this point in his presidency than Biden did 4 years ago at this point in his presidency. So they haven't saved anything. They've done the exact opposite. And I'll break that down in 1 second. But let me read this article that explains how Musk now wants to leave politics because he's tired of, quote, attacks from the left. And I guess attacks from the inner Trump circle. Many people find him incredibly annoying, reports say. We don't even need reports. We could just watch videos of him. We know that he's incredibly annoying. I don't know why Elon Musk thought that he could withstand the heat that you need to be able to withstand in politics when this is the same guy who almost needed a San Francisco Police Department wellness check after getting booed at a Dave Chappelle show. Twitter employees feared he would hurt himself. Quote, he got to a point where he locked himself in his office. He was so upset, says Twitter employees, because he got booed at a Dave Chappelle show. It's no secret that Elon Musk is sensitive and has a fragile ego, and now it's showing on the national stage. Speculation of Tesla CEO's possible departure comes as his influence in the admin appears to wane. Now that is a key sentence right there. Elon Musk is conveniently getting tired of politics just as his influence in the admin is beginning to wane rapidly. I mean, Trump doesn't listen to him as much anymore. We have reports that Susie Wiles is trying to kind of keep Elon Musk away more so than before, and Susie Wiles has been trying to reel in Elon Musk for a while. Musk is reportedly set to leave his government role because he's tired of what he sees as a litany of vicious and unethical attacks from the left. Please stop. I can't laugh any harder. Now let's go over to this video of this anchor explaining how the budget savings are tiny. I mean, a fraction of what Elon Musk claimed. And let me reiterate, we got all of the adverse effects with none of the positives of the trade-offs. So make sure you drop a like, scroll down, and make sure you subscribe because we need to boost the message that DOGE's savings didn't match up with reality. The $2 trillion promised on the campaign, if you can see the campaign on the bottom, on the x-axis, didn't match up with the then $1 trillion promised on January 30th after they got power. And then on April 10th, Elon Musk says we actually saved $150 billion. But then once the New York Times dug into this, they found only $92 billion. Check this out.
Back during the campaign, Trump claimed that he was going to cut $2 trillion from our annual budget. And by the way, our annual budget is $7 trillion. So he would have been talking obviously about a massive cut. They quickly realized that was not successful. In January, they said we'll cut $1 trillion out of the budget. And by the way, the government's fiscal year is now more than half over anyway. But then on April 10th, they lowered it to $150 billion. So $2 trillion, $1 trillion, 150. But even the $150 billion, the New York Times did a very thorough investigation of this. 92 billion of it is unspecified. Nobody knows where that's coming from. Of the other 63 billion, there were all kinds of mistakes, including, for example, a contract for 1.9 billion they claim credit for actually canceled during the Biden administration. So for all the commotion, all the layoffs, all the unhappy people.
Dude, and some of these contracts were canceled during the Biden admin. Some of them never even went into effect. Some of them successfully ended during the Trump admin. There was one where they claimed they were saving $8 billion, but this contract had already been run to completion under Trump's first term in 2019. They weren't doing their due diligence. It's almost like Elon Musk had a bunch of young college dudes doing this job. Oh wait, he literally did. This says, despite DOGE at Interior, Yellowstone staffing higher than last year. Oilfield executive takes charge of consolidating workforce of 70,000. There is just no shot they're this incompetent. 5 days into the Trump admin's DOGE takeover of the Department of Interior's policy, they did it about 5 days ago, the management and budget, and etc., Yellowstone National Park staffing is now higher than last year. How does this even happen? Yellowstone Park confirmed the increase. Quote, going into this year, we should have a total of 769 NPS employees compared to the 748 last year. And at this point, in Biden's admin, it was 693. So what does that tell you? It's the opposite of efficiency. But while all of this is happening, Musk's DOGE goons have been granted access to a massive amount of federal data that they can then use and weaponize. Pam Bondi's Justice Department has agreed to give a handful of Elon Musk's DOGE advisors access to a system containing detailed private records on millions of immigrants dating back to the 1990s. The Executive Office for Immigration Reviews Court and Appeal System holds vast, comprehensive records of immigrants' personal information, as well as every interaction they've had with the US government, and senior DOJ officials greenlit DOGE access. So now that Elon Musk got what he wants, he's now thinking of just dipping. His power is waning within the admin. He has all of this data, and what did we get from it? We got absolutely nothing except our own privacy and security being breached by the richest man in the world. Can I show you this chart one more time? Musk's promises and wall of receipts didn't even get close to matching reality. The thing that I find crazy is just look at the dates. The campaign promise was $2 trillion. After they got power, it was $1 trillion. But then here we have 150 with major errors, and then $92 billion without details. But wait a minute. I don't even know if I mentioned this earlier. Out of those $92 billion, we only have $63 billion of actual itemized receipts, but even these itemized receipts have major errors. So we might not even have saved $63 billion. And what was the cost? USAID? What was the cost? I mean, thousands of lives across the globe. The inevitability of a disease coming to America's doorstep because Elon Musk thought that 0.04% of taxpayer dollars shouldn't go to US aid. I mean, that's nothing to Elon Musk. Why doesn't he pay for these disease preventions? Oh wait, he did all of this to enrich himself, to enrich his companies, and that's becoming more and more clear by the day as he now wants to dip because he can't take the heat, but while he's dipping, he's still accessing a massive amount of data of millions of immigrants. The so-called Department of Government Efficiency, a White House office headed by President Trump's mega donor Musk. We can't get desensitized to that sentence right there. A mega donor is running a White House office with clear conflicts of interest. The so-called Department of Government Efficiency has been digging into confidential data systems across the federal government in an attempt to speed up the admin's deportations. DOJ staff members were instructed to prepare ECAS accounts for Marco Alez, the DOGE minion who resigned over racist social media accounts. Yikes. The racist dude now gets the immigrant data. We'll see what happens from here. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe to make sure that our message gets out there. Thank you guys for helping us build this platform, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.